Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and this is my Lord of the Rings hobby, and in today's video I'm going to be speed painting two different ways Gondor Rangers. Now the reason I've been doing this is because I keep hearing about how great speed painting it is. Everything's only 2 models, 2-minute models and so forth, and I wanted to put it to the test as someone who doesn't really paint fast but has an understanding roughly of what he's doing. So I'm an amateur, but not, you know what I mean, I don't know the best phrasing for it, but as someone who just loves the hobby, loves painting, I wanted to put this out there to show people that even though you could get it down to 8 minutes or 2 minutes a model, 3 minutes a model and so forth, that realistically for us, the normal lot who don't paint as often, will struggle to do that timeline. And the only reason why that is because of the skill which still is introduced into this sort of easy slap chop and other method of speed painting. Now on the left hand side should I say of the video, I am using the slap chop method. I did do a video of it before, I'll link it in the description, it's more detailed, but I just wanted to show you guys me working on 2 different models, near enough the same thing, but showing you either a slap chop model method or just a standard priming white / Wraithbone. It's entirely up to you. I used the Halford's white for this. I'm not going to lie, I don't like it. I don't think the white is as good. It would have been good to know that before I painted all or sprayed all 25 other figures of the white, but I'll just speed paint through them. I'll just do them as I want. I'm not fussed. I've also got other models what I've done normal hand, which is starting to become my favourite way of painting. And when I say standard, I just mean as in the usual method of painting, which is your normal base and then your highlighting. I would like to get better at contrast paints. I believe there is a skill into it. It's just not for me, I don't think. I don't mind spending 40 minutes on a model or less depending what it is, but that's just my method. I enjoy the hobby side of just painting. I don't think there should be a rush. I think what a lot of people do struggle with, especially like I said myself, I work full time, so coming home in the evening and taking care of life stuff before you even think about the hobby, you do run out of a lot of time. So I was like, oh, I wanted to do slap chop and speed painting as a method of me to become a bit more efficient and getting stuff done. But I've got probably about 200 models what need painting. I've still got the original Riders. No, actually, I think no, I haven't actually. I still got the, I can't remember the Lord of the Rings box set before the Osgiliath one. I've still got to go through quite a bit of that. I've still got the Mordor Trolls I've got to paint. I've also got the Ring Wraith on Fell Beast I've still got to paint, so I'm still quite far behind. And then I've also bought the new box set, which I've got through quite a bit, but even then I've still got 12 models from that. I'm letting me look now because everything's on my desk spread out. I've also got all the heroes, so yeah, I kind of think I've messed up personally and not giving myself enough time, or like I said, work is one of those big things what affects us all. So I basically did this video in the principle thinking, oh, I'll get this done in 8 minutes and I can show everyone how easy it is. But it's not. It's still, you have to take your time. You have to make sure you don't bleed over into different bits. If you do, then you have to go and get another paint, and then you have to tidy that up, and then you have to do that little bit again. So I would just say, don't think this is a very easy process of you just getting paint and chucking it on. There's still a skill. You need to take your time and have a look at the model first. Like, I know the models near enough off by heart because I've painted them so much, but there is little bits and little angles, especially on these old models, which makes it very difficult to tell what bit is which, and normally you have to make it up, sadly. I do wish in the future, and I'm hoping that Games Workshop does, is they will start to bring out new models, or just tidy them up a bit, even if they're not fully changed, just tidy them up a bit and get out the new prints, because these models are just absolute rubbish for painting. They're great as in looking back in time, and they were great when they first came out, but now with what they're doing with the newer models, and also like just look at the Space Marines and all the 40k stuff, it's just so much cleaner and sharper, and I think that they need to try and do that onto the Middle Earth range. I really do hope they do one day, just to make it easier to paint, make it a bit more enjoyable. Like the new elves and everything are great. I've got Elrond somewhere on my desk, looking badass, and he's great. You know, you can tell he's a new model. I think that's what they need to focus on now, is just getting new models and just tidying them up a bit. Right, anyway, so what was I saying? I've completely forgotten now. Speed painting, that was it. We're on to speed painting. We're not going to have a full rant about how Gamesbox has neglected to update any of the Lord of the Rings things, which they have and haven't at the same time. It's a 50-50. I will say also, on to doing the slap chop, you have to be really careful how you do skin colour. I'm still, personally, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Towards the end of the video you will see. I don't think I'm going to put the full video in, because like I said, this isn't a paint guide, this is just me trying to speed paint. I put times on the bottom right hand side just so you can actually see what we're doing. Again, I think I need to practice dry brushing. That's me personally. I don't know why I'm just struggling with dry brushing. I can dry brush terrain and all the other big pieces of houses, and I've even done dry brushing on certain models, but for this I just can't. I don't know what's up with me. I don't know if it's because I'm using too much water on my brush. Is it too damp or is it too dry? It goes chalky after a bit, so that means it's dried out. I don't use it on a tissue. I use it on like a piece of cardboard or something to make sure I've got enough so the moisture's not all fully zapped out of it. So I don't know. I need to have a full proper look. I have watched a couple of YouTube videos. I can't remember the chap, but he's like the king of dry brushing. He can dry brush a whole model and it looks amazing. Is that good? So I need to have a quick look, maybe into, excuse me, I just burped, my bad, into the way to do it. I will also say, like I was saying before, about how mistakes are very hard to fix, or maybe not hard, but are a pain. If you do make a mistake, you have to go back, so you have to make sure you're neat. So that's why I'm saying there is a skill based in this set of speed painting, is that if you mess up you have to then go back. Now I'm not too sure how many YouTubers are making a video from start to finish. I don't know if they are making mistakes. That's why I wanted to actually do the full video, but I will edit it down because it's over half an hour long, and I don't think you guys want to sit down and look at it and go, oh, this is right, this is wrong. But if you ever do that sort of thing to show you that mistakes are made, which they are, and I do think they are important, people need to see that mistakes are made and that you have to keep then going back over them. As someone who I haven't painted models for a long time because I've done a lot of scenery stuff, I've actually struggled to keep the nice small bits in, and that's why I started painting slightly bigger models. A friend of mine gave me some Moonstone stuff, which are really nice models, a lot bigger. They're like 32mm, I think, and they're just nicer to paint. Bigger models better. I don't know why. I would love Lord of the Rings to come into 32, just to make it easier for me personally, but you know, we can't all, beggars can't be choosers at the end of the day. It's a great model system, so I'm not going to complain on that side either. There's a couple of things which I do like about the speed paint thing, which is it is literally one paint, as in you don't have to keep then going out, and probably money wise you might save a bit in the long run, because if you're just doing your standard slap chop, then all you need is a black base paint undercoat, a light grey, and then a white for your dry brushing, and then just your contrast paints, and then all your highlighting is done because of the whites, which is on the edges. It picks it up, it looks really good, and so on. As for your normal speed paints, your contrast, you can do all your contrast, it looks good. You're on a white background / Wraithbone, I believe it is, on Games Workshop, something like that. Just a very pale colour. You paint it all, and then you then go and highlight on top of that. So the contrast way, normal way, the contrast plus your layering system will be a dearer experience for people who are getting into the hobby. As for the slap chop, is actually cheaper in a bit of money. So yeah, I don't want to go on too much about the money side of it because everyone's, you know, budget's different. I would say if you are starting to it and it's something you really enjoy or you want to get good at and so forth, then maybe go to the slap chop and perfect that. If not, I just buy normal paints. I don't mind. You can get away with not having to do layering. You could literally, same with the contrast to be fair, you don't have to layer on that. I'm just not a big contrast fan yet. I think I need to get better at it. But me, a base layer and an oil, or should I say a shade wash, is really good for it. And all I would normally do is put let's say we're looking at these, we'll put Caliban green on the robe, on his cape, and then just either a null oil or the, I can't remember now what it's called, the green wash. There's a couple of them, and then you could call that done. It's entirely up to you of your painting process. But again, speed painting is good for people who are always in a rush. As for people like myself, and I would say the majority of people around in this hobby are not in a rush. I think it's only competitors, people who need something done there and then, or have an event or want to play whatever with. I don't know the full term of what, you've got a few skirmishes, but even then, a half painted model of you being happy and it looking good is better than a full painted model what you've rushed and you've gone, oh, that would do. Because I've done that on these two here and I've gone, oh, something I learned, I will do what I perfect it, let's have a go. And the answer was no. It's taken too long. For 20 minutes, I think I would have rather put all the base paints down myself and done that rather than just the contrast. But that's just my opinion. It's just like the heroes and everything, you spend your time with it. I don't want to go on too much about the painting side of that bit, if that makes sense. But I found myself personally that these techniques are just not for me, unless I do have something big. It's a shame really, because the colours do look really nice on the models when they're done, but I just don't like them enough. I don't like the process. I feel like what should be quick is taking too long still, and I'd rather take even longer with my models, and I'd rather get 6 painted in a week to 6 to 10 and then do that weekly, because in 4 weeks I'll have everything done. As for speed painting, would give me the chance to do, like I said, this video fully done was 20 minutes, 25 minutes max, so I'll probably get maybe 10 done a week. I can get 2 done in an hour, spend a couple of hours doing that's 4 models a night roughly I could do, and that's on a good night when I've actually got 2 hours to spend and sit down and play or paint or model or do whatever I need to do for this hobby. I will also say that the contrast paints are good. Like, I love the leather looks, I love all the browns. The green I'm not that keen on. I think I need to have a bit of practice with the green, but I do like the snakebite. I like the leather look, so there is really nice colours, but I can get the same sort of colours if not better colours with using my normal ones. So I think from now on I'll still have a practice with the speed paints and messing around, but I think I need a bigger model to fully understand and actually look at how it sits better on the model, and so forth, how it goes into the recesses better and so forth. As for these tiny ones, I think most people will agree that painting the Lord of the Rings is quite a difficult thing anyway, because of how small they are. A lot of detail on such a small amount of people, which is great, but just also not great, especially if you're like me who just loves painting but I'm not fully great at it. I'll also show you a picture at the end of this video of all my models together and how the difference they all are, and hopefully you can pick a bit of that up. Again, it's a different stage, so there's a slap chop, normal contrast, and then what I would call the normal standard painting way, which is normally your base shade and highlighting. And highlighting, what I do on my normal are literally the 3 steps which I did on the YouTube video, how to paint a ranger. The only thing I wasn't happy with that was the skin colour, and that is because I didn't realise this, that when I've had the Reikland flesh shade, all the pigment had gone to the bottom. The pink, what makes the skin look a bit pinky, had all sunk to the bottom. So recently I've got a brush and I've scraped it all out at the bottom and mixed it in and gone again. I probably need to get some bearings in a lot of these pots to shake up, so then it'll loosen it all up again, but that's a different story. So guys, what I'm going to do now is quickly cut and show you the finished products and see what you think. Okay guys, so you can see the one on the left, the slap chop is done. That took me 23 minutes and 17 seconds, and then the normal contrast took me a bit longer. Now this is also getting paints out and so forth. That's why I'm putting it into a full video, also making me sure that I'm looking at reference photos. Now the light green on the right I really like. I think that's really cool on the normal one. The contrast one, of course, which I am struggling with, I don't know why, is the skin colour. I must need to add more white to that area to make it sound look better, because he looks so weird and pale. I've even put extra on, so I don't know if I'm overloading it, but that's one thing to look at. And now in a second I'm going to show you all three. Fingers crossed. These are also based in a normal like Rocky base, what I've done. Here we go. So this is it done. That is the contrast full one, which looks pretty cool. I really like the yellows and the armor on it. The contrast plus one, again, skin color I struggled with. And that's about it really. I think there is, like I said, the dry brushing technique I do need to work on, and then also the one I did prior to all this, which is my normal layered one. You can see it looks quite dark and grimy, which is kind of cool. I could call it a grim dark effect, but that wouldn't be true. And then in a second I'll show you my proper one where I've done it all, and these are the ones what I took quite a bit longer on, but I really enjoyed. So guys, if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, tell me your best method of painting. Till next time, bye for now.